one pick wonders. You're getting your best pick, NFL, out of all the games for the week, minus the Thursday night game, because that already happened. I happened to pick the Raiders to lose. But apparently my show got deleted. But now we're going to go with the picker of the week, Big Danny D. Let's have your pick for the week.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens this week until Ryan picks next week. There's Brian in bed. Nice you wearing a shirt. Going with Seattle this week, +1 at home. Just trying something a little different this week. See what happens. The home underdog. Weather should be good there this week. Rain shouldn't be a problem. Seattle, I think, is 2-0 against the spread at home. And Los Angeles is kind of like, middle of the road when it comes to that stuff. Most of the money is on the Chargers for this game, but it's pretty even. It's like 53-47. But I think Seattle's playing really well, and they play well at home. And I think they'll be able to pull it out. All they have to do is win. That's it. No spread to cover, nothing like that. So hopefully they're able to pull it out, and we can actually have a win for the first time since week 1.
So my take on this one is that the Seahawks 4-3 this year. Okay, losses came to the Broncos, Bears, Rams, and their wins came against the Cowboys, Cardinals, Raiders, and Lions. In the Detroit game, Wilson managed 248 yards, 3 TDs. Chris Carson led the rest with 105 yards and a score. David Moore was the high man in receiving for catches, 97 yards and a TD. But, the Chargers could finish this season with a great record. They're currently in the middle of the stretch of a very winnable games. So, Chargers are trying to get past Seattle. So let's see what happens. So, Brother Brian, what are you thinking on this one?
Well, actually, I looked up a really cool fact. Since Russell Wilson became quarterback in 2012, the Seahawks are 12-0 against AFC teams at home, and they're 9-3 against the spread. I thought that was a pretty cool stat. Other than that, too, they have a great home field advantage. They have a top 5 defense. And actually, I just saw this. I was looking this up. They have a top 10 rushing attack. I think they're going to run. They've been running the ball a lot better with Chris Carson. And I think their defense is underrated. So I think they're going to be able to hold. I mean, Phil Rivers is playing well, but I think the defense can hold the Chargers, especially at home in that loud stadium. So, yeah, I think the Seahawks can win, the low-scoring game, like 21-17, something like that.
Ryan, what's your take on this?
Well, the Chargers, they're 5-2, but interesting matchups here. Here we go. 5-2. They lost to the Chiefs to open the season. They beat the Bills. They lost to the Rams. Then they beat the Niners, the Raiders, the Browns, and they barely beat the Titans by 1 in their last game, which was 2 weeks ago. They're coming off a bye, so it's kind of almost a false front at 5-2. Really, they played a weak schedule to begin the season. Like Brian said, they got a top. They actually have a top 5 defense. That's what they're ranked 4th in passing, which is obviously, Philip Rivers. They can try to shut him down. Melvin Gordon, he's coming off an injury, isn't he? I think he was out their last game. Or Melvin Gordon, he was out, right? So, even though they're 17th ranked rush defense, but even a banged up Gordon, that could hurt. Their offense has never been huge. I don't know. Russell Wilson's never like a 300-yard consistent passer. So, so they rank low offensively passing, but the rushing game's good. And Russell Wilson can move around. and make the plays that need to be made. So I think getting 1 point, I think that's we should actually Dan should be picking again next week.
The challenge we have is in the basics here is with passing and rushing is that the Chargers are actually leading the Seahawks in passing and rushing, but where we have a big advantage is in the red zone performance. The Seahawks are 75% compared to a 60% on the Chargers. So defenses look pretty evenly matched with interceptions and sacks, with the Chargers slightly leading in those categories, 7 to 5 interceptions and 9 to 8 sacks. So, Dan, we're going to give you the final word tonight. What say you?
I say I hope the streak ends. This has been ridiculous. You've lost 7 straight. I mean, it's almost impossible to do that. I just thought it was a good matchup. Seattle at home against a Chargers team, as Ryan said, that seems like it has an inflated win total based on the schedule. They play a bunch of the weak sisters in the NFL, so we'll see what really happens. The Browns and the Jaguars and those teams aren't quite murderer's row. I just thought it was interesting. I thought the betting, the way the bettors went, I thought it'd be a little more even. I was surprised to see that more people were betting on Los Angeles than on Seattle, even considering the low line. I know Chris Carson might have an injury, but I bet he'll play. I don't know. Russell Wilson's played better lately, too. So I just have confidence that we'll finally win one. Finally. After all these close calls, the stupid Buccaneers 2 weeks ago should have covered. I don't know what the hell they were doing.
No, Dan, Dan, I have on my line, I have 50-50.
Okay,
There's
so
yeah, it's 50-50 on the money. And then Seattle out at +1.
Yeah, I like it.
But Seattle still plays in that big concrete dome, right? So they're indoors, right?
They blew up that dome 17 years ago.
Oh, that's bad news for the fans.
You can watch it on YouTube.
They could have gotten like 50 gallons of soup and painted that bitch. They wouldn't even have to go through all that expense.
They play at Quest Field, I think it's called. It's outdoors.
CenturyLink Field.
CenturyLink, thank you.
Yeah, close enough. Quest, who gives a shit?
Yeah, right. I'm not
Seattle.
And also, hey, Dan, it's going to be raining again. Haha, right?
No, it's supposed to be fine. The weather should be fine. Mid-50s and sunny there tomorrow.
Oh, I saw a little rain cloud with the rain coming down.
Well, the great weathermen at Pinnacle, they said it wasn't going to rain there tomorrow.
All right.
What do you think about the over-under?
Man.
Well, the weather in Seattle.
Do you like the over or the under?
The weather sucks in Seattle, so we're just going to have to assume some bad weather there.
Yeah, right.
It's sunny in Philadelphia.
No, but I also like the pick, though, because I think my brother's pick I didn't like. It sucked ass. But I actually like this pick. I like this pick.
I just want to end with a song.
Uh-oh.
Oh, whoa, Fitzmagic. Well,
is Brian going to sing Dancing in the Dark now?
Oh, my God.
Hey, we're still in it, baby. We're still in it.
Dick Cutter is going to be fired.
Oh my god.
Hey! What's the over under on Gruden now?
Of what?
Oh, he makes too much money. They'll never get rid of him.
Never.
Yeah.
Not for a long time. He's owed too much money. Didn't they give him a partnership too?
I
Or
don't know what
ownership,
they
I
gave
mean.
him. But I bet he
thought
gets
they
at
gave him
least
some
another,
ownership.
I bet he gets at least another 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to bring in his own quarterback and do what he wants to do.
You know, by then we'll be doing the show in Vegas. So
Yeah, right. Some of the sports books are opening up here this month. You can do it here.
it'll
Well,
be like the next Porn Stars.
yeah. Well, Dan said that when he moves to Vegas, he's going to build a house with a moat. Remember
That's
that?
right.
Yes. Yeah.
With the dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get you some chains and some bling, rings and
That's right.
like some hat and the shades and everything. You got to be like Mr. Las Vegas. when
Yeah, I
you
need
go
the Mr. T starter set.
Yeah. Or
No,
what's the
who's
other guy?
Who's the coach for the Raiders that died?
What?
The Raiders.
There's a coach for the
The owner. No, the owner for the Raiders that died.
no, that was Al Davis.
Who?
Al Davis.
Yeah, Dan needs the Al Davis starter set.
He didn't wear any jewelry.
Baby. Just win, baby.
That's right. We're gonna stop picking them this week.
All right, go Hawks on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Go
Go
Hawks.
Hawks.
Go Hawks.
All right,
we-
later for